Hey Flutes, welcome back. Today we're going to continue with the flute head joint exercise page. You will remember we did these exercises on page 7. Well, there is a second page to this, so I'm going to scroll on down. And so this is the head joint part 2 that we want to look at today, and it will say page 8. Okay, so we have learned that we can make a high sound on our head joint and also a low sound. So if I play with the end of the pipe open, then I get the high sound. If I close the pipe, then I make the low sound. Well, today we're going to learn that there is a third sound that we can make, and you've already probably watched a video on that. So we have the high sound open, low sound close, and then if I blow faster air, I can, with my hand over the end of the pipe, I can get the even higher sound. So today we're going to be working on those little overtone sounds with the closed pipe. So let's take a look at the instructions here. Closed head joint high is what we're doing. Remember to have a rounder shaped aperture on this note. Slide the corners forward and keep the top lip down. So look at the little circles here. This is what we are aiming for, not the note, but look at the circle here. We're looking for our lips, the aperture on our lips, to look more like this. Okay, so the corners are going to come in on the mouth to make the hole more rounded and more like a coffee stirrer straw. It's going to be about that size. Okay. So the low sound, we have the oval shape. The high sound, we're going to go for the round shape. Low. Okay, did you see my lips move just a little bit when we go between those two? So while we're doing this, we want you to have your mirror handy. So I have mine right here, and you're going to be looking at the aperture, looking at the hole in your lip, between your lips, as you do this, so making these different sounds. All right, number 9. So number 9 is all going to be the high sound. So close pipe, and we're going to be blowing that overtone series there so you can get the higher note. These are big, fat, hairy whole notes. Close pipe. Now, if you do this and you're not getting a clear, pretty sound, focus in the aperture, make it a little bit narrower. Don't let it spread out, and try speeding up your air. So if the air's not fast enough, that note's not going to pop out. Now, line 10, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but now we're going to do 2 half notes. Now, with young flute players, sometimes when you're making these different separate notes, you tend to do what we call hooing. So we'll hear this sometimes. Hoo, 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 hoo. And that's not the way that we want to start the note. So we have learned to begin the note with the poo sound. But when we're playing consecutive notes like this, we're not going to take a breath in between them. So instead, I'm just going to touch my tongue to the back of my teeth. And it will interrupt the air just long enough to make a separate note. So you may want to practice with that a few times before we go on to the next line. When you feel like you're making separate notes and you can play line 10, let's go on to line 11. Line 11 is going to be the same thing. So it's closed pipe. We're playing the overtone there, the high note, the circle aperture. And this time we're going to play 2 quarter notes and a half note. So this is 1, 2, 3, do, do, do. Now, you may notice that when we're doing this, when I'm resting, I don't want to move my face. I don't want to take the head joint off of my lips. I don't want to breathe in such a way that my lip shape really changes much. So everything is going to be frozen in the resting parts, okay? Because the more you move your face, the more likely you're going to not reset properly and fast enough. So keep it as still as possible. Line number 12, when you are ready, is going to be the same. Closed pipe, circle aperture, except we're going to do 4 separate quarter notes instead of 2 quarter notes and a half note. Okay, here we go. I didn't like that one. Okay, so you may have heard on one of those, my hand slipped a little bit and it kind of made the low sound for a second. So make sure you're getting a good seal with your hand over the end of the pipe as you're practicing this. That's going to be all that we do on this video lesson. In the next video lesson, we will cover the end of this page. So practice the first lines here, and when you feel comfortable with those, go on to the next lesson. We'll see you next time.